Let's talk Miami Dolphins then amid some drama around Tua, the quarterback. Is he the answer at that position for the Miami Dolphins? We're going to dive in more in depth this year in just a second, but I want you guys to get your votes in before Mitch and I even start talking about it. Y for yes and for no. I think you're most going to type in Y for yes. Is Tua the answer at quarterback for the Dolphins? Now, we bring this up in light of the Miami Herald article in which anonymous players, I guess I'll throw in allegedly here too, frankly bashed Tua in an article expressing doubts about his play and his upside and why they benched him compared to Ryan Fitzpatrick and Mitch. This is kind of a bad look for the organization.
It's a really bad look in multiple ways. So basically, Chris Grier named Tua the starting quarterback for next season, and multiple anonymous players didn't really think that Tua played well enough this year to not at least have a conversation next year. The reason why I absolutely hate this is two reasons. One, I do think that Tua is a solid quarterback. And the other thing, if you're going to be a Mitch with a B and hide behind an anonymous name, I absolutely despise that. If you're going to rip another player, if you're going to rip another man, at least put your name behind it. Don't hide behind anonymous, because in NFL, we'll say media, if you get that name, they're going to put it out there. The reason why it's anonymous is either because A, it's made up, or B, because the player specifically asked, hey, don't mention my name, I don't want to get in trouble. So for me, I understand that you saw some hills and valleys with Tua, the ups and the downs, but that's going to happen with a rookie quarterback, especially when you look at all the injuries that Miami had on offense.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive receiving core and tight end core was all banged up. The offensive line was not that great.
Correct.
Bunch of Jags at running back who played fairly well, but also you can kind of tell late in the season, I think teams are going to have to stop that. Just the guy, not that great. You know, it's weird to me. One of the players was like, we got to beat Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Watson, right? Oh, that's going to be a tough challenge with Tua. I do want to make note that Josh Allen, I think does have better physical upside than Tua did coming out. But Josh Allen was not great in year one.
Correct.
So why can't Tua be like a lot of young players and grow as things move on, right?
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. And I think one of the biggest reasons why the Miami Dolphins also decided to move on from Chan Gailey is because Chan Gailey and that offense was built a little bit more for a, we'll call him gunslinging type quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick. And sure, the numbers definitely favor Fitz. There is no doubt about that. And in the multiple games that I watched from Miami, the offense did seem to be under, well, a little bit more command under Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I do believe that the plan the entire time, as soon as they drafted Tua at number 5 overall, was to make him the future. And the fact that they are making him the future, that kind of squashes a lot of rumors. It kind of squashes a lot of things. But you and I have been in this business for a little while now, and we also know the quarterback rumor mill, it never ends.
No.
They're just trying to inspire some confidence in Tua, and in the games where Tua had confidence, he was really good, Tom. In the games where they limited the playbook or they didn't show confidence in him, I'm yelling at Chan Gailey.
Yeah, I agree.
He really struggled. And, I mean, that's just an up-and-coming young man trying to figure out the NFL. They're just trying to give him confidence.
I mean, I think for the most part, we know that the usage of Tua versus the usage of Fitzpatrick was different.
Oh, absolutely.
And clearly, I think you can make a good argument that, yeah, Fitzpatrick at his age and his experience was better than Tua last year.
I agree with that.
But I think you also have to take a longer-term view. If you had played Fitzpatrick the entire year, I still don't think you make the postseason.
It's close.
I still don't think you do.
Close.
I think you finished exactly where you did. I really do.
See, but like Tua played a little bit slower down the end of the season, but that's also when a lot of their key playmakers started to go down. Tua also won some really big freaking games. I mean, he took them on a 5-game, 6-game winning streak. They took care of business against a tough team like the Rams, where Miami, sure, was helped mostly to the defense. They still were able to win a lot of tough games. So it's one season. I hate that people are going by an anonymous report.
Yeah,
it drives me absolutely
I get
insane.
it. And coming back to this whole discussion as well about whether or not he's the answer or whatever, I think that there's a very real possibility that he is. Life is tough as a quarterback. The hit rate is actually not as high as we want to admit it. But you've invested in him. I want to see him with some better and healthier playmakers.
Yep.
I don't feel the need to move on from Tua immediately. And I don't think the Dolphins feel the same way. So, of course, the answer's kind of out right now, but I'm inclined to go with Y for yes. Where do you go?
I'm also going to go my Y for yes. I've seen a lot of people recently rip on Tua and like, oh, he was only good in college because he had Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Jerry Jeudy, and Henry Ruggs. Are those 4 incredibly gifted wide receivers, especially in college? Yes, absolutely. But you can also see a lot of the intangibles that Tua had. You can also see that his deep ball, that's something that I think you and I both would agree on. It's really hard to be able to teach a pretty deep ball. Tua definitely has that, and Chan Gailey never really let him use it.
Got some deals for you guys here over at chatsports.com/stay safe. NFL face masks up to 75% off. They got Miami Dolphins ones. They got Seattle Seahawks ones, and they're available for all 32 NFL teams. A ton of different packs and variety in terms of styles and colors, and individual ones up to 4 packs as well. Check the comments. Check the description as well. They're all available at chatsports.com/stay safe. Mitch, I like the neck mask, especially in the cold. Helps keep me a little bit warmer.
I mean, especially when you look at some of these games right now going on with the NFL playoffs. Now, maybe for some of y'all that live down south, you don't need it. But I live in Dallas, Texas, and I woke up this morning, and it was 30 degrees. Having a normal mask is nice. Having one of those neck masks is a freaking game changer. So, obviously, we got to wear a face mask, and you might as well rep your favorite NFL team. So, if you need a mask of a pack of 4, all the way down to packs of 1, we got you covered. And make sure you find masks that you can wash, because if not, I've broken out a few times because I didn't wash my face mask. These are machine washable. You can go find one here at chatsports.com/stay safe.
Let's talk draft then for the Miami Dolphins. We'll begin with Devonta Smith here, who's coming off the insert adjective here, season/national championship game.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So,
okay.
I mean, he was just you couldn't cover him. And when you watch a player like Smith, you really started to wonder, okay, sooner or later, Ohio State's going to double team. Okay, sooner or later, they're going to figure him out. Luckily for Ohio State, and it's a shame because Devonta Smith, who was absolutely torching the Buckeyes in the first half.
Got that hand-finger injury.
Had a weird little hand injury, but the fact that this dude, Tom, is able to show his speed, the fact that he's able to show his hands, when he runs, it's effortless.
It's fluid.
It almost looks like when a skater skates. Like, he doesn't take steps, he just glides. It's like a freaking deer. And when you're putting up these type of numbers in the national championship game against them, pretty good Ohio State defense. I know they have struggles with their cornerbacks. I know they do. They're still a good defense in college. You can't really say anything about it. 12 catches, 215 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I don't think they're that great in the secondary in particular. And Bama's offensive line
They're still an above-average
protect.
college defense.
Okay, sure. I'll grant you that one there. Devonta Smith and the Dolphins is a pretty logical fit and pairing because you're trying to build around Tua. Why not give him one of his good buddies, who, by the way, was fantastic with Tua at Alabama? I think we all remember the Tua touchdown pass in the national championship game to win it was to Devonta Smith. His numbers were ungodly. He should be there at number 3 overall. But that's not the only player the Dolphins could consider. If you want to wait on a receiver, you could also go with Penei Sewell, the offensive lineman out of Oregon.
Yeah, Penei Sewell is one of those players where I know there's a lot of hype around Trevor Lawrence. But honestly, I might think, not even might, I do. I think Penei Sewell is the best player in this draft.
Wrong, but okay.
I really do. I'm sorry. I think Penei Sewell is an absolute lock. He's no doubt not going to fail. Trevor Lawrence, there is still a little part of me. There's still a little part of me that worries a little bit about Trevor Lawrence. If I'm looking for an absolute slam dunk, I'm looking for a guy like Penei Sewell.
I'm going to have to disavow Mitch's comments here. There's no such thing as an absolute lock in the NFL draft. Because they said that about Aaron Curry, too. Well, bust pick from Seahawks linebacker.
I understand that was a while ago, but still, Penei Sewell is a player to me where he is the best tackle in this draft.
Yes.
And for a team like Miami, I understand you already drafted Austin Jackson to be your left tackle. Sewell can play left or right tackle.
You could kick Robert Hunt to guard in that scenario, which I think might actually be his best spot in the NFL.
No, and I agree with that. But for Penei Sewell, you can have him protect to his blind side. Because that's going to be right tackle.
And I'll make this note for Sewell in his favor because I love him too. Don't get me wrong, despite throwing some cold water on Mitch's take there. 1 sack in 2 years at Oregon when he was 18, 19, and he began most of his playing time at Oregon before he turned 20.
Okay.
So when he's that good, that young, that's shades of Tyron Smith. Where Tyron Smith was dominant at USC, also Pac-12. Now, the Pac-12 edge rushers this year were not that great, but I think Sewell is a fascinating option for the Miami Dolphins, and maybe you try and trade down and still secure one of them if you're able to. But who do you guys want the Miami Dolphins to draft? Get your votes in here. Mitch, if you're picking one guy, no trade allowed here at number 3, who is it?
If Devonta Smith and Penei Sewell are
both
on
there.
the board, I'm going to go Penei Sewell. That's going to be the player I go with. However, if y'all want to take Devonta Smith, if y'all want to go with Jamar Chase, I'm not going to hate that either.